Judges chapter 5. The Song of Deborah. On that day Deborah and Barak, son of Abinoam, sang this song. In Israel the warriors let their hair loose. In Israel they presented themselves voluntarily for the war. Blessed be the Lord. Listen, O kings, pay attention, O princes. To the Lord will I sing a song. To the Lord, the God of Israel, I will offer praise. When you went forth from Seir, O Lord, when you marched from the camp of Edom, the earth trembled, the heavens reeled, and the clouds poured down rain. The mountains rocked before the Lord, the one of Sinai, before the Lord, the God of Israel. In the days of Shamgar, the son of Anath, in the days of Jael, caravans ceased, and travelers wandered through the byways. There were no leaders in Israel until I, Deborah, arose as a mother in Israel. They went after new gods, and war was upon them. There was hardly a shield or a spear for 40,000 men in Israel. My heart is with the leaders of Israel, with the people who came willingly. Blessed be the Lord. Those who go riding on white asses, seated on reed carpets as they go their way, listen. Hear the voice of singers near the watering places. They recall the favors of the Lord, his favors to the people of Israel. Wake up, Deborah, wake up. Wake up, wake up and begin to sing. Arise, Barak, lead your captive away. O son of Abinoam, the survivors march down to their leaders. The people of the Lord march down to fight him. They came from Ephraim, whose roots are in Amalek. Benjamin is behind you among your army. From Machir the commanders march down. From Zebulun those who bear a marshal's staff. The leaders of Issachar are with Deborah. Issachar is with Barak. They rushed forth into the valley, following his footsteps. There were great searchings of heart among the clans of Reuben. Why did you choose to remain in your sheepfolds, listening to the whistlings for the flocks? There were great searchings of heart among the clans of Reuben. Gilead remained on the other side of the Jordan. And Dan, why did you remain in your ships? Asher has remained on the sea coast. He is quiet in his ports. Zebulun is a people who have scorned death. Naphtali went out to the battlefield too. The kings came and fought. Then they fought the kings of Canaan at Tanach near the waters of Megiddo. But no booty of silver did they get. From the heavens the stars fought. From their orbits they fought against Sisera. The torrent Kishon swept them away. The surging torrent, the torrent Kishon. March on, my soul, with strength. Hoofs of horses shake the ground, the galloping of his horses. Curse Meroz, said the angel of the Lord. Curse its inhabitants bitterly, for it came not to the aid of the Lord against the mighty. Blessed among women be Jael, wife of Herod the Kenite. Among the women who dwell in tents, blessed may she be. He asked for water, and she gave him milk, in the cup fit for lords who served him cream. She put her hand to the pick, and her right hand to the hammer of a workman. She struck Sisera, crushed his head, pierced and shattered his temple. He collapsed, he fell, he lay still at her feet. At her feet he collapsed, he fell. Where he collapsed, there he fell slain. Sisera's mother looks out of the window, and she cries out behind the lattice. Why is his chariot late in coming? Why are the hoofbeats of his chariots delayed? The voices of women answers her, and she keeps repeating to herself, surely they are dividing the plunder, 1 maiden, 2 maidens for each warrior. Colored clothes for Sisera as booty. Colored clothes embroidered, twice adorned with raised embroidery for me, all this as booty. So may all your enemies perish, O Lord, but may your friends be like the brilliant and rising sun. And there was peace in the land for 40 years. Judges chapter 6. Oppression by the Midianites. The Israelites did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord gave them into the hands of the Midianites for 7 years. And the hand of the Midianites lay heavily on them. For fear of Midianites, the Israelites made for themselves shelters in the mountains, caves, and strongholds. Whenever the Israelites had sown their seed, the Midianites, the Amalekites, and the people of the east would come up against the Israelites, encamp on their land, and destroy all the crops as far as the entrance to Gaza. They would leave no provisions or sheep or ox or ass, for they would come up with locusts in number, bringing with them their livestock and their tents. They and their camels were many, and they invaded and plundered the land. In this way Midianites subdued Israel and brought upon it so great a misery that the Israelites cried to the Lord. When the Israelites cried to the Lord because of the Midianites, the Lord sent them a prophet who said to them, "This is the word of the Lord, the God of Israel. I led you up from Egypt and brought you out of the house of slavery. I freed you from the hands of the Egyptians and from all your oppressors. I drove you out before the inhabitants of this land and gave their lands to you. And I said to you, I am the Lord your God. Disregard the gods of the Amorites, in whose land you dwell. But you did not listen to me." The call of Gideon. The angel of the Lord came and sat down at a terebinth at Ophrah, which belonged to Joash of the family of Abiezer. Gideon, son of Joash, was threshing the wheat in the winepress to hide it from the Midianites. The angel of the Lord said to him, "The Lord is with you, valiant warrior." Gideon answered, "Please, my Lord, if the Lord is with us, why is all this happening to us? Where are those wonders which our fathers recounted to us? Did they not say that the Lord led them out from Egypt? Why has he abandoned us now and given us into the hands of the Midianites?" The Lord then turned to him and said, "Go and use this strength of yours to save Israel from the Midianites. It is I who am sending you." Gideon answered, "Pardon me, Lord, but how can I save Israel? My family is the lowliest in my tribe, and I am the least in the family of my father." The Lord said to him, "I will be with you, and you shall defeat the Midianites to the last one." Gideon said to him, "If I have found favor in your sight, give me a sign that it is indeed you who speak. Do not leave until I return with that offering and present it to you." Then he responded, "I am going to wait for you here." Gideon went and prepared a young goat, took an ephah of flour and baked unleavened bread. He put the broth in a pot and the meat in a basket and went to present to him under the tree. Then the angel of God said to him, "Take the meat and the bread, put them on this rock, and pour the broth over them." Gideon did so. At that moment, the angel of the Lord extended the staff he was holding and touched the meat and the bread. Suddenly, fire blazed from the rock. The fire consumed the meat and the bread, and the angel of the Lord disappeared. Gideon realized that it was the angel of the Lord and said, "Alas, O Lord God, I have seen the angel of the Lord face to face." But the Lord said to him, "Peace be with you. Do not fear, for you shall not die." Gideon built an altar to the Lord in that place and called it, "The Lord is Peace." To this day it is still in Ophrah of Abiezer. Gideon's purification. That same night the Lord said to Gideon, "Take with you your father's bull, a 7-year-old bull. Destroy your father's altar to Baal and cut down the sacred pillar beside it. Then build an altar to the Lord on this knoll and sacrifice the bull to me, burning it with the wood from the sacred pillar which you have cut down." So Gideon, with the help of his 10 servants, did what the Lord had commanded. But because he feared his people and his family and the people of the town. He did it by night. On the following day, the townspeople saw that the altar of Baal had been destroyed and the sacred pillar beside it had been cut down. They also saw that the bull had been sacrificed on the new altar. Then they asked one another, "Who has done this?" And as they investigated and found that it was Gideon, son of Joash, who had done it, they went to Joash and said, "Hand your son over to us, for he must die. He destroyed the altar of Baal and cut down the sacred pillar." But Joash said to the angry crowd, "Are you going to defend Baal and save him? Anyone who pleads for Baal shall be put to death by morning. If Baal is a god, let him defend himself when someone destroys his altar." On that day they gave Gideon the name Jerubbaal, saying, "Let Baal defend himself against Gideon, for Gideon destroyed his altar." Then all the Midianites, the Amalekites, and the people of East joined forces, crossed the Jordan, and encamped in the valley of Jezreel. Then the Spirit of the Lord clothed Gideon with strength. He blew the trumpet and summoned the men of Abiezer. He sent messengers throughout the whole territory of Manasseh, and they joined him. The people of Asher, Zebulun, and Naphtali also went out to meet him. Gideon said to God, "If indeed you will save Israel by my hand, as you have said, I am going to spread these woolen fleece on the threshing ground. If the dew falls only on the fleece while all the ground remains dry, then I shall know that you are to save Israel by my hand, as you have promised." It was so. Gideon rose at daybreak, squeezed the fleece, and wrung out enough dew to fill a cup with water. Gideon again spoke to God and said to him, "Do not be angry with me if I dare to speak to you again. Allow me to make another test with the fleece. Let it be dry only on the fleece, and let dew come on all around the ground, on all the ground." That night the Lord did so. The fleece remained dry, and dew covered all the ground. Psalm 102. Prayer of the afflicted. O Lord, hear my prayer. Let my cry for help come to you. Do not hide your face from me when I am in trouble. Turn your ear to me. Answer me at once when I call. My days are passing away like smoke, and my bones are burning like a furnace. Like withered grass, my heart is blighted, and I forget to eat my bread. Because of my great grief, I am reduced to skin and bone. I am like an owl in the wilderness, like a vulture among the ruins. I keep awake and I moan. I am like a lonely bird on the housetop. All day long I am taunted by my enemies. They use my name as a curse. The bread I eat is ashes, and my drink is mingled with tears. In your fury and anger you have lifted me up and thrown me down. My days are like the shadows of night. I am like grass that withers with blight. But you, O Lord, are enthroned forever. Your name endures through all generations. Arise, have mercy on Zion. This is the time to show your mercy. For your servants cherish her very stones and are moved to pity by her dust. O Lord, the nations will revere your name, and the kings of the earth your glory. For the Lord will rebuild Zion and appear in all his splendor. He will answer the prayer of the needy and will not despise their plea. Let this be recorded for future ages, that the Lord may be praised by a people yet unborn. From his holy heights in heaven the Lord has looked on the earth, to hear the groaning of the prisoners and free those condemned to death. Then the name of the Lord will be declared in Zion, and his praise in Jerusalem. When the peoples and the kingdoms assemble to worship him, he has broken down my strength, he has cut short my days. I cried to him, "My God, do not take me away in the mid-course of my life. You whose days endure through all generations. In the beginning you laid the earth's foundation, the heavens are the work of your hands. Although they perish, you will remain. They will all wear out like a garment. You change them like clothes and they vanish, but you remain the same, your years unending. Your servants' children will dwell secure. Their posterity will be established in your presence. Luke chapter 11 verse 29 to 54. The sign of Jonah. As the crowd increased, Jesus began to speak in this way. This is an evil generation. They ask for a sign, but no sign will be given to them except the sign of Jonah. As Jonah became a sign for the people of Nineveh, so will the Son of Man be a sign for this generation. The Queen of the South will rise up on Judgment Day against the people of this generation and condemn them. For she came from the ends of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon, and there is someone greater than Solomon here. The men of Nineveh will rise up on Judgment Day against the people of this generation and accuse them. For Jonah's preaching made them turn away from their sins, and there is someone greater than Jonah here. The light of life. No one lights a lamp to hide it, rather he puts it on a lampstand, so that people coming in may see the light. Your eye is the lamp of your body. If your eye is sound, your whole body will be filled with the light. But when it is diseased, your whole body will be in darkness. So be careful lest the light inside you become darkness. If your whole person receives the light, having no part that is dark, you will become light as when a lamp shines on you. Woe to you, Pharisees! As Jesus was speaking, a Pharisee asked him to have a meal with him, so he went and reclined at table. The Pharisees were surprised to see that Jesus did not first wash his hands before dinner. But the Lord said to him, So they knew Pharisees clean the outside of the cup and the dish, but inside yourselves you are full of plunder and evil. Fools, did not the one who made the outside make the inside too? But as to what is within, give us alms, and behold, everything will be clean for you. Woe to you, Pharisees! You give tenths of everything, even of mint and rue and the other herbs, but you neglect the justice and the love of God. These ought to be practiced without neglecting the others. Woe to you, Pharisees, for you love the best seats in the synagogues and to be greeted in the marketplace. Woe to you, for you are like tombstones of the dead, which can hardly be seen. People do not notice them and make themselves unclean by stepping on them. Then a teacher of the law spoke up and said, Master, when you speak like this, you insult us too. And Jesus answered, Woe to you also, teachers of the law, for you load on people unbearable burdens, while you yourselves do not move a finger to help them. A curse is on you, for you build memorials to the prophets your fathers killed. So you approve of and agree with what your fathers did. They killed the prophets, and now you build their tombs. Therefore the wisdom of God said, I will send prophets and apostles, and these people will kill them and persecute others. But the present generation will have to answer for the blood of all the prophets that has been shed since the foundation of the world. From the blood of Abel to the blood of Zechariah, who was murdered between the altar and the sanctuary. Yes, I tell you, the people of this generation will have to answer for them all. Woe to you, teachers of the law, for you have taken away the key of knowledge. You yourselves have not entered, and you prevented others from entering. As Jesus left that place, the teachers of the law and the Pharisees began to harass him, asking him endless questions, setting traps to catch him in something he might say.